Get ready for all of this. This is going to be quite a ride. So hang on. Here we go. Well, the Republican Party and President Trump have their third leg of the stool. That would be the tariffs or international trade agreements. Number two, the big beautiful bill, so taxing theories and their method of taxing in order to get the economy going like crazy. And then number three would be deregulation, which is an ongoing situation and already started. The three legs are all there now for Besant and for President Trump and for the Republican Party. So they own this economy. From now on, every single report that comes out, you can't go back and say that's Biden's fault. It's now going to always be 100% either the good news or the bad news is going to all go right straight to current the current occupant of 800 Pennsylvania, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Anyway, so there, and no excuses, no excuses. You can't have any excuses. I'm really excited. I think the S&P 7,000 is a slam dunk for this year, and I think we'll probably hit 9,000 in 2026 as we see an explosion of opportunity and economic benefits in 2026. By the way, Cern Basher later tonight. Do not miss it. Oh my goodness. And Beisel, I always blow his name. Phil Beisel will be on tomorrow morning with an amazing, absolutely thrilling. You cannot miss tomorrow morning's Phil Beisel. I'm promising you, don't miss that. Tesla Charging says that's his handle. Well, I think it's Tesla's charging division who's putting out this particular email. I'm okay. Putting out this particular post on X. July 3rd, 168 stalls, 11 megawatts of solar, and I think there's 10 mega packs. Tesla Megapack constructed in 8 months in Lost Hills, California. 84 stalls now open, solely powered by the sun and operated off grid. Remaining stalls and the lounge are coming later this year. So even more stalls coming, 168 now, 100% with the help of solar and Megapacks. I'm sorry, yes, the 10 was Megapacks. I just couldn't read my own writing or my own typing or something. Elon has officially started his new American Party. He two to one. It was 66% said, yeah, you should start. He took a poll, and that's what people told him. Well, then there was another poll taken that said, so how would people vote? Now, you got to know that this poll, it wasn't taken by him, it's taken by somebody else. You have to know this poll would have been mostly Republicans voting. So this audience said 48% would vote Republican if there was a vote today. 46% they would vote for the new American Party, and just 6% said they would vote Democrat. Well, but as I've been saying for quite a while now, several times on X, I think here on this channel as well, there is no platform. Well, there's a small platform. Here's the platform so far. Reduce debt. That's a good platform. Responsible spending only. That's a good platform item. But you got to flesh that out. What does that mean? What are you going to take away? What are you going to add? What is responsible spending? What isn't? How do you reduce the debt? What is the tax policy that goes along with reducing the debt? You got to have a lot more philosophy behind it rather than just a blanket statement. Then modernize the military with AI and robotics. I can't imagine who wouldn't be for that. Almost everybody would be for that. But what does it do with what do you also want to do? Is that it? That's all you know about the military? You just know that you want to modernize using AI and robotics? What about the standing army? What about the way that you're going to position existing fleets and whatnot? What about the way that you're going to respond to aggression? What about the ability to project power? These are major questions that are not they have a long way to go before they would have my vote. It says pro-tech, accelerate to win in AI, 100%, and less regulation across the board, but especially in energy, 100% for all of that. But will there be any winners or any losers? Are you going to pick winners and losers? Or are you going to say, everybody just go at it? I'd be all for that. I got no problem with that right now. I'm 100%. That's a conservative approach. Say, okay, all kinds of energy, There's no incentives. There's also no tax negatives that are put on any type of energy. But that would mean no negative taxes with regard to ICE cars, no negative taxes with regard to oil or gasoline. Is that what we want? What is the play? Let us know. Free speech. Of course, we need free speech, but I spent an entire, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 weeks in law school going over this issue in constitutional law. Free speech, as Elon knows better than anybody now, after having purchased Twitter and changing it into X, free speech is extremely nuanced. So what does free speech really mean when it comes to the American Party? How do they approach the subject of free speech? Then he's pro-natalist. He wants more babies, wants us to grow the population. 100% for that. I totally understand it. I consider myself to be a little, would you call it, a hobbyist demographer. And I think that this is a very critical issue. But what is the platform? Are we going to pay people to have babies? Are we going to bully pulpit people into having babies? Are we going to try to reduce the dramatic reduction of people that are going to try to reduce, rather, the divorce rate? Are we going to, how are we going to do this? I mean, it's wonderful to say that's what you stand for, but then what about how you get there? And then centrist policies everywhere else. Well, what is a centrist policy on Israel? What is a centrist policy on deportations? What is the centrist policy on abortion? What's the centrist policy on gun control? What's this? Need I go on? Well, anyway, a couple of days ago, I suggested here on this channel as well as on X that Elon go after just 3 senators, maybe I said 10, maybe even 10 senators, maybe 30 Congress people. Elon has reduced that. He says, look, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go after 3 senators and a couple of handfuls of Congress people as their first goal. But they would do it under the American Party. I'm thinking they would be so much smarter. I think it'd be so much better if they would go after this and make this happen for the Republican, but find people that are hawkish who believe the way that you do, as opposed to the way that the bill came out that you felt was wrong. But do it within the party. It'd be so much more powerful. It would be a lot less work, take a lot less money, and it would give you tremendous status and stature within the party. Well, what impact is this going to have on Monday? The fact that he started this American Party, I don't think it'll have much of one, because this is very limited. I could be wrong again. Maybe there will be an impact on Monday, and maybe on Monday I'll be getting criticized by everybody for having purchased my shares back on Thursday. Larry Goldberg has a very, very, very long but very useful post on X today, taking apart the ridiculous article in the Wall Street Journal that proposes that the Tesla Semi is not going to be competitive. The errors are just everywhere, and he points them out one after another. It says that they have a very, very high cost on the vehicle, thinking that the battery alone will be $100,000 at cost. What? No, I don't think so. And then there's no analysis of the long-term cost of ownership compared to diesel vehicles. He could have just asked any LLM, and it would have shown how much savings there is, even maybe within the first year, enough to pay off the entire truck. He could have asked. Then there was a matter of the charging infrastructure. He thought, what are they going to do about the charging infrastructure? Well, do you think Elon's got a plan for that, which he's already announced in terms of the first, I think, 7 or 9 locations in the Southwest, where he's going to be opening up specific locations for charging vehicles. Plus, they're going to have charging capabilities within the superchargers that currently exist. Plus, there's going to be chargers commonly with the customers themselves, as there are now with Pepsi. Anyway, it goes on and on. He could have asked Grok, and Grok would have told him about all of the business of the infrastructure. He also erroneously suggests that the 300-mile range vehicles will be smarter than the 500-mile range vehicles, because all of the other folks that are in the business they have 300-mile or even less mile range vehicles, whereas clearly all the work I've done on this has shown that the 500-mile vehicle is going to be the big winner. Okay, that was all of that, but you want to go look at that. That's pretty interesting what Larry Goldberg did there. Tom Lee did a talk in Korea last week where he boosted Tesla on many, many different levels, but he mostly pointed out that no other company, none, no, not one other company is even seriously attempting to do embodied AI of any kind. While Tesla and that Tesla therefore will be dominating in robots and AVs. I mean, even Google and Zuks and some of these other ones, they're really not doing embodied AI. They're really still using old-fashioned ways of encoding what they're doing, and it's just not on the same level. Tom Lee highlighted also that Tesla's nearly fanatical customer base. He talked about that. He says that driving a Tesla feels like interacting with an intelligent assistant, not just a car. And this loyalty that people have to driving a Tesla is unmatched, unless a true rival emerges. He says, if you want to have any kind of a negative thought about Tesla, the negative thought would be a true rival to all of what we just talked about and so much more. There's nobody even suggesting that they're going to have that rivalry. I mean, he talked obviously about the manufacturing. I should have quoted that as well. And now that I remember it, he says Tesla's manufacturing prowess is so amazing that right now Tesla could basically get into any manufacturing business and compete well against any existing companies that are out there because they're so good at manufacturing. I wonder who said that just a few weeks ago. Now we've had all that positive stuff. Well, kind of some positive, some that. Anyway, here's some, it's fine. It's time now for the press to get in there and really knock what's happening with Robotaxis. So let's go ahead and we'll go through a couple of those. Engadget has this with regard to a minor accident that did take place with a Robotaxi. One of Tesla's fully autonomous Robotaxis grazed a parked car after completing a ride recently in Austin. In the video recorded by Dirty Tesla, which I didn't see his original video on this, a self-driving Model Y is seen turning and accelerating into a Toyota, making a light contact with its tire. That's interesting. Anyway, the Model Y already had dropped off the passenger, had trouble navigating out of the dark alleyway afterwards. Tesla's Robotaxi service launched in August. According to Dirty Tesla, there were no serious injuries, no injuries at all. What do you mean serious injuries? I would say no injuries at all. Or damages, no damages. And the Robotaxi safety monitor eventually swapped the Tesla, I call him the safety rider. He swapped seats and drove the car away. Although the sideswipe was minor, it's unclear what caused the Tesla to drive into a parked car instead of driving off normally after completing the ride. That would be unclear. Outside this incident involving another car, other invited guests have shared their unexpected experiences with Tesla's Robotaxi service. So far, we already know all the rest of them. I don't want to go over them again. Then we got this from NBC News. They were able to find 3 local officials with some negative comments. There are just a lot of errors, said Vanessa Fuentes, a member of the Austin City Council and the mayor pro tem. She is, of course, a Democrat, meaning she runs council meetings when the mayor's out. No kidding. In a phone interview, they have proven that the technology they have is unsafe for Austinites. Really? How is it unsafe? And while other autonomous vehicle companies such as Waymo or former General Motors unit crews have been documented on camera making embarrassing or illegal maneuvers, Fuentes said she doesn't believe Tesla has coordinated enough with the city government, which Tesla is not legally required to do, but she said would build trust. Tesla has no regard for public input or working with our city, and unfortunately, I'm not okay with this done at the expense of Austinites' safety, she said. She said she embraces autonomous vehicles in the city as a general matter, but would like to see Tesla service halted for now. Austin City Council member Sam something. I didn't get it down here. He said he said we've been seeing chaos unfold. Chaos. We have a lot of constituents who are angry, he said. I wonder if these Democrats are possibly a little bit. They have some Elon derangement syndrome. He said the situation reminded him of problems associated with Cruise robotaxis. We know about those. Cruise shuttered last year. Quadri, Tom Quadri, I think. No, it's not Tom. Anyway, his last name's Quadri. Said he's not heard similar complaints from constituents about Waymo, which also operates there. Well, once again, do you think the Democrats in Austin would be more likely to challenge the issues with Tesla? It's not clear whether Tesla could face local consequences for such incidents, such as traffic tickets for breaking the law. Fuentes said the process in Austin for ticketing a robotaxi is way more complicated. A police officer must draft a complaint affidavit, send it to the lieutenant, and then have the affidavit witnessed and sent to the municipal court. The Austin Police Department said in a statement, quote, as with any company operating autonomous technology on public roadways, when a potential legal or safety concern is brought to our attention, we promptly share it with the company. These concerns are then addressed through our regular meetings where we follow up on the issue and review the steps taken to resolve it. Our priority is to maintain public safety while supporting innovation in transportation, according to the police department. Federal regulators at the National Highway Traffic Administration also took notice of the safety incident, saying in a statement June 23rd that the agency is aware of the referenced incidents and is in contact with the manufacturer to gather additional information. Texas State Rep Vicki Goodwin, a Democrat whose district is part of Austin, said she wants Tesla to proceed cautiously. I think it's in their interest to make sure safety is top of mind and that nothing goes wrong. Otherwise, that could really derail their plans for launching it fully, she said. Goodwin was one of 7 Texas lawmakers who sent a letter to Tesla on June 18th asking for the company to delay. She said that Tesla did not delay its launch, but Goodwin said the company did respond to the letter, saying it would update its policies to ensure it would be compliant with the new law. Goodwin said part of her desire for caution comes from owning a Tesla herself and experiencing unexpected maneuvers while using the company's driver assistance software. She says, I've had personal experience with using cruise control and having the car brake for me, which can be very disturbing, she said. I've had that experience on a number of occasions. It just leads me to believe that it's really is important to have a person in the vehicle. Business Insider was only too happy to find some experts. Business Insider, they found some experts. Raj Kumar, a professor of engineering at Carnegie Mellon, told BI that while issues with pullover and even driving into the wrong lane could likely be fixed through more training data, incidents of what he described as phantom braking may have exposed a flaw in the robotaxi design. Man, did this guy do any research before he answered these questions? Phantom braking. Anybody know anything about phantom braking? In one video, he saw YouTuber 𝐒𝐚𝐲 was on a robotaxi ride when, according to the video, it braked with nothing obstructing it, causing her belongings to fall to the floor. 𝐒𝐲, a YouTuber specializing in tech and clean energy with more than 250,000 subscribers, can be seen in the video as, man, I wish I had 250,000 subscribers. By the way, I'm almost at 30,000. I think I have like 35 to go. So subscribe. There's quote, that's something that people have talked about being one of the limitations of full self-driving with Robotaxi immediately after the braking incident. To process camera data, one has to use AI and machine learning, Raj Kumar said, but hallucinations are an integral part of how AI operates. Once you hallucinate, phantom braking ends up happening. So a camera-only solution will not be sufficient for a long time. We've been driving thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of miles, and I've had phantom braking. You've had phantom braking. I've had phantom braking on the freeway, which is what he brings up next. He says, imagine being on the freeway at 65 miles an hour, and the car suddenly brakes for a phantom object, and there's an 18-wheel semi behind you, and they cannot stop. It can be extremely dangerous depending on what's happening around you. Well, I've had my coming back from Vegas going way more than 65 miles an hour. I've had phantom braking, and it phantom braked from whatever 80 miles an hour down to like 65. And I don't think anybody could have run into me. I think they would have got it. Stephen Schladover, lead researcher at Partners for Advanced Transportation Technology program at the University of California, Berkeley, they use professors as experts, told BI he's concerned that Tesla's camera-only approach without Lidar or radar will eventually lead to passenger injuries without intervention. Look, tomorrow morning, that's what the sole subject is going to be when you watch Phil Beisel talk to me about Lidar. It will open I mean, I was completely blown away. So good. You can't miss it. Don't forget to watch it. Subscribe if you haven't already done it, and then hit notify so you won't miss that show tomorrow morning. Automated driving needs a combination of sensor data from cameras, radars, lidars, as well as precise localization relative to high accuracy digital map of the roadway environment and other data such as local rules of the road and speed limits. Oh, really? It does? Phantom braking, a known phenomenon in some Tesla software systems. Tesla is facing a class action lawsuit over alleged phantom braking, which is an advanced driver assistance system that is different from the supervised version of full self-driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also launched an investigation into Tesla Model 3 and Model Y vehicles in 2022 after more than 750 drivers complained to the agency that their Tesla suddenly slammed on the brakes at high speeds while on autopilot. The investigation and evaluation are still going. By the way, mine hasn't done that for a very, very long time. I've had it slow down maybe 3 or 4 miles per hour on the freeway a couple of times near semis, actually. When passing semis, it was weird. That was about a month or so ago. And then once or twice on a little city street, probably only slowed down 2 miles an hour because I was only going like 25. And so I have a little tiny bit, but nothing like it used to be. How about you guys? Let me know in the comments. In the same year, a Tesla driver who told police they were using supervised full self-driving, well, it's easy to tell. Tesla can tell you for sure, 100% sure, was caught in an 8-car pileup due to sudden and unexpected braking. CNN first reported this incident in December of 22, and Tesla did not respond to their comment. It's December of 2022. Give me a break. I'm sure we know the outcome by now. Tesla CEO Elon Musk addressed phantom braking complaints in 2020. And the issue of phantom braking fixed in this release, somebody asked. A number of people talking about it recently. It should be, said Musk in 2020. For over a decade, autonomous vehicle company Zuks has been building an autonomous vehicle designed to stand out from the others on the road. There's a reason why this rectangular glass-paneled Zuks Robotaxi looks so weird. Besides the vehicle's lack of steering wheels, perhaps the most interesting Zuks feature is it has a 2-engine design. What is unique about a 2-engine design? Some Tesla vehicles have 2 engines, some have 3. And I think they're called motors, not engines. Other than that, Zuks calls its vehicles bidirectional. All of my cars that I've ever owned have been bidirectional, meaning that there's no forward or reverse. But what does that even mean? It can go both ways, right? The 2 motors at different ends of the car allow it to drive forward in 2 directions. So it's driving forward all the time. But when you have a fully autonomous vehicle, it can drive backwards as good as it drives forward. I don't. All right. NVIDIA has been one of the company's partners since its inception. Unlike Tesla, which has said it doesn't use the technology because it's too expensive, Zuks utilizes Lidar. Remember, tomorrow morning, don't miss. Lidar uses lasers, All of the tech needs a lot of computing power, and NVIDIA has been providing that since 2014 to Zuks. They've been around that long? Wow. But now the startup is ready to take its vehicles to the streets in a big way. They're getting a new serial production facility. What's a serial? Anyway, Hayward, California. The company will have a facility for engineering, software, hardware integration, assembly, and everything else. According to Morgan Stanley analyst Brand Nowak, who has seen the facility's size and grandeur, suggests that Amazon, which bought Zuks for $1.2 billion in June 2020, is fully committed to ensuring the company builds something viable soon. Zuks Hayward, California facility, 220,000 whole square feet. That would be about just under 10 times as big as my factory was. Is capable at full scale to be able to do 10,000 robotaxis a year. Now, so 10,000 a year, well, that'll be good, while Tesla's building 10,000 a day. Notably, this is similar to Waymo's Arizona plant, which also it can do about 10,000 vehicles per year, which is why they're going to get completely overwhelmed. Of course, Tesla does not have any issues with the production capacity for its robotaxis, since Tesla's ultimate goal for the program is that every Tesla on the road have the capacity to be a robotaxi. By the way, this is Randy Kirk. I know that was all Tesla. We're only going to have like a minute left here on non-Tesla, but like, subscribe, notify, all that kind of stuff. And I already told you what's happening later tonight. And then that'll be Cern Basher. And then tomorrow morning with Phil, you can't miss either one of those. Tomorrow, regular programming tomorrow night, Monday morning, which happens on Sunday night. And then after that will be a Brian Wong. I mean, does it get any better on a 4th of July weekend? Trump is asking Fed Chairman Powell to resign after he perjures himself in Congress regarding the amount of spending and the nature of the spending on the new Fed redecoration project. While the rest of the government is cutting back, he's building a Middle Eastern palace. Why? I don't know. I mean, we're talking marble floors. We're talking, I saw some descriptions of it, and it sounded like, I don't know, something. I went to a tire manufacturing place down in Mexico City one time. They basically were the only tire manufacturing company in all of Mexico, and 30-foot ceilings in the entryway. The owner of the company was in an office that was about the size of my factory. I think that's what the Fed's doing. Anyway, hey, by the way, on this, for those of us who are in that age group, which is almost all of you, the Social Security deal that just passed in the big beautiful bill, I didn't realize this, but that 90% of Social Security recipients will no longer be paying any tax on their Social Security income. That is fabulous. I know the promise was, this is a little bit of a broken promise from Trump. He said that he would eliminate the tax for all of Social Security for all recipients, but it's only going to be 90% will pay zero, and the rest of us will get to mark off $6,000 a piece. We'll be able to reduce our bill, reduce our taxable income by $6,000 per person. And that'll be a nice help. That'll be great help. So I think that's a really good thing. All right. I've already told you everything you need to know, except that this morning, of course, it was Larry and Randy talking about Cathie Wood and her regular monthly report, which if you don't watch that on a monthly basis, it is basically about a 40-minute condensed economic analysis that you could never, ever, ever, ever get, even in the best college classroom in America. I'm telling you, between Cathie's experience and knowledge, between my experience and knowledge, and Larry's experience and knowledge, between the three all coming together, it is crisp, it is clean, it is thorough, it is broad, it is deep. It's really amazing. I just highly recommend that you go back. I'll put the card right here for you to go back and check that out. With all that, that's all I got for you right now, but we'll see you at 7:45, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock tonight. 7 o'clock tonight, we'll do that Cern Basher show, all right? It's been great talking to you.